Okay, welcome back to the room 407. Good afternoon, everybody. So next workshop, we will show you the music from Myanmar. It's called Traditional Music of Gitameit. We have two instructors, Ms. Kit Young and Mr. Ne Miao Ong. Please.
Okay, I'll use the microphone. Welcome, everybody. Sawadee ka. It's a pleasure and great honor to be here from a music school that we started in 2003 in Yangon, Myanmar, and now with a center in Mandalay called Gitameit. And the meaning of that word is Gita, like Kita in Thai, music from Pali, and mate in Thai, mitrapap means friendship, and in Burmese, mitahaya means friendship also. So the idea behind our school is that we explore all different kinds of music. We have a Myanmar music department, and we are honored to be here to share with you some of the musicians that come, faculty, and students also. So first I'd like to introduce our musicians. So we have Uimao, who plays the sangok, the harp. So welcome Uimao, thank you. And Utin Sia Utin on the slide guitar, Myanmar slide guitar. Sia. And Utun U on the, he's going to play both the Burmese oboe called the ne and the Burmese flute called the balwe. Uteu is sitting over here on your left, and he's playing Burmese piano, which is known in Myanmar as sandia. And we're very happy to have Uteu with us because Sandia Uteu works for the government in the Ministry of Culture in the School of Fine Arts in Yangon. So then we come this way, and then we'll go back that way again. On the Chaulomba, or the 6-drum set with the big drum called Chaulomba, and the big drum is called Sekong, and Nemyo will talk about that later, is Zwe Pye Pang. So let's give him a hand. And then Nanlue over to the far right is our percussionist, our timekeeper of the CMWA. Our vocalist for today, so look, Namwe. How did not? And then today we have Wawasan, Ma Wawasan on both harp, and she'll be singing for us. And another facilitator is Nemyo Aung. So I have studied Sandia for a long time as a pianist and a composer, and many trips back and forth to Myanmar, and I lived in Myanmar from 2003 to 2008. And the school is continuing to grow and develop. And I would love to be able to pass around a paper with your email and name. And if you're interested in more in Burmese music or connecting with Gitameit, please put your name down and your email, and we'll get in touch with you. I mean, we're online, but it's so great to know that everybody's here. So I'll just start to pass out the list. So in Myanmar, we have many, many cultures, like in all the countries of Southeast Asia, and in fact all over the world. We're always moving between cultures. The music that you're going to hear today is the music of the Burmans, of the Myanmar ethnic group or cultural language group. And there are many other ethnic languages in Myanmar and different kinds of music. This is the music that comes with the majority Burman culture. So the music, always, like everywhere, is so integrated with dance, with movement, like we learned yesterday from Ajahn Suropon, the way that folk arts and not just folk arts, traditional arts come from theater forms, theater expressions, religious ceremonies, poetry, dance. They're all bound up. So sometimes when we separate these forms and we just look at music alone, we have to imagine other modalities, other ways of making art, other media for expressing what we want to say. So in Myanmar, in the past many hundreds of years. Of course, there's music for religious ceremony, there's chanting. Song is used in all the expressions of work in agriculture, ceremonies for novitiates, ceremonies for marriage, courtship. In addition, a tradition that Ajahn Sorapon also mentioned was like, or yesterday, Thai like and zigger, and how that came from into Southeast Asia. So in Myanmar, there's something called zapwe. So the za is actually the story of the Jataka tales in Buddhism. And the dramatic form of the apwe means a performance, and za is the story of the Jatakas. So in the old days, in the royal court, there would be actors, singers, and musicians who would act out the Jataka tales in court, both dancing and also with puppets. So the puppet tradition in Myanmar is very developed for a long time, so even since Pagam period, 11th century. So all of these different kinds of expressions would come together in Zapwe, where you have all-night performance, and the musicians that you see here are just a part of that ensemble. So many of you probably have heard of Sai Wang in Burma and the Burmese drum circle. Raise your hand. How many people have heard of Burmese drum circle? Have you heard? So these 6 drums, if we pull them further into the pitch system, into sound, into tones, the Burmese have a drum circle. So the drums are on a stand, and the drums are in a scale, and the drums have a pace that is tuned. So that's known as the Saiwang, and that is the center of the Zapwe style. Nemyo, who I'll introduce you to in a minute, is going to be singing more sort of in that Zapwe style. Wawasan is going to be singing more in a chamber music or indoor kind of style, which both for classical song and for songs that are sort of mid-20th century that showed up in film and on stage and in records and different performances. So actually, today is going to be, your main facilitator is going to be Nemyo Aung, who just came back to Myanmar from 3 years in the United States and with a master's degree in ethnomusicology. And we're very proud to have him as part of Gitameit. Also, he's the first ethnomusicologist to get a degree from the United States in Myanmar, actually. So I want to introduce Nemyo Aung.
Hi, hello. Hello. First of all, before we perform some Burmese traditional music, I would like to introduce the basic characteristic of Burmese music. The first instrument which I would like to introduce is Sinawa. The Si and Wa is the most important instrument in Burmese music. Everyone who would like to study Burmese music has to start with a Sinawa. Anyone who could play the Sinawa is the one who is skillful in Burmese music. Swe will play Sinawa. And the second instrument is Sao, which is one of the most prominent Burmese instruments and mainly used in Burmese court to entertain the king and the queen and also the princess. It formerly had 7 strings and later developed into 13 string by Minister Usa. And the third instrument is guitar. Burmese people always eager to take something new from different cultures and change into their own and appropriate them and so use in Burmese musical settings. The slide guitar first came to Burma during colonial period, and Burmese people retuned that slide guitar into Burmese tuning, something like C, F, G, and C, F, G. So Seatin, who is the oldest musician in this ensemble, will play slide guitar, and we can also say he is kind of like national treasure, kind of like living Burmese music dictionary. So Seatin will play a little bit of Burmese guitar. The next one is Ne and Palui. When we talk about Burmese music, most people notice that there is not much wind instrument in Burmese ensemble. So Ne and Ne, Burmese oboe is a multiple reed instrument which is made out of palm tree, and the only instrument the only instrument in traditional drum cycle who take the role of the solo along with piano and other instruments. And there are Utong will play net and play. Net is the Burmese oboe, and play is the bamboo flute. The next instrument is the sandia, which is Burmese term for Western piano. When the first piano came into Burma, which was presented by Italian ambassador and to the King Mindong, and the King Mindong asked his musician, Burmese traditional musician, to try that new instrument. So Burmese musicians, they have no idea how they can play, so they use Burmese xylophone technique and also drum cycle technique and put it on the piano, and in this way Burmese piano became. So. The last one is Chao Long Pat, the 6 drum sets, which take the rhythmic section of the Burmese ensemble, Chundran cycle, sign Y, and which has 6 small drum sets and 2 big strands. But for this trip, I cannot bring the bigger one. We just have the smaller one. And in order to get the right sound, it has to put a special piece, what we call pasa. So according to the amount of pasa, the tuning will change. In here, the tuning is G, C, E. And for the next one, we would like to introduce the Burmese Mahagita classical music genre. The first genre of Burmese classical music is Jo, which is the oldest genre and composed 250 years ago, and which usually teach the mnemonic syllable, which indicate the Burmese interval, something like 10, meaning kind of like 9th interval, and also Taya is kind of like octave, and perfect fit for like day. So this first sound is introduced the basic interval of Burmese music. Sia Uemao and Mel Watson will play a little bit of that Chu sound from Zhang Nian. second genre is Buet song. Buet has usually played to praise the king, the queen, or royal peoples. And then the second meaning is kind of like an honorific title for someone or some other people. So now we are going to play a short introduction of Mingala Thiri Buet. The next one is the Tachingan. Tachingan is the only musical genre which has no account or the introduction or prelude, and it is quite difficult to distinguish from any other musical form, something like Ju. So now we will play a short little one or two phrases of Tachingan. Next one is the Padyo, which is developed in Gomong Dynasty, early 19th century. And Padyo is which was originally sung by female singer, but for this concert I will sing. The song of the Padyo, the name of the song is Lumano Padyo. The next genre is Yorea, which is Burmese term for Siam or Thailand. And after the two war with the Siam, the Siamese music and us were introduced into Burma, and Burmese music adapt Thai music and used in the royal court. And Yorea song, the melody and the lyrics originally were the Thai Napat sound used in the Thai dance drama Kon. Burmese lyrics and style of using melody and tuning make this song take on totally Burmese or Myanmar character. For the next one, our Burmese musician will improvise a little bit of on their own instruments, and so they will also play some classical music. So, yeah, let's start. Yeah. next song is called Sana Kengri, which is Kehong, the scene, and popular after World War II. And this song depicts how true love and loyalty can overcome many difficulties and the problems of Kenya and Kenya, the mythical bird, composed by Tayase.
Thank you.